Color Guard. Dirt goes, color stays.
Coming up next in Action News, police have a double murder on their hands in Kensington tonight and the admitted killer. A wheelchair-bound man won't have to die for the killing of a police officer, and you'll meet the 300-pound block of granite the Eagles hope will plug a hole on their offensive line. Phil Andrews with the sports. I'm Rob Jennings, and Action News is next.
This is Charles Gibson. This week, affordable ideas for improving your home. Also, top executive salaries. Have they gone through the roof? Plus, Liza Minnelli, Sylvester Stallone, and Mick Jagger on Good Morning America.
Watch the Weekend Report tonight on most of these ABC stations.
Friday, America's watching dinosaurs on ABC.
Honda has been named #1 in import owner loyalty for the 14th year in a row, which means year after year, more people buy Honda after Honda. Why? Because you get what you pay for.
The Accord Lease Program. See your nearest Honda dealer for details.
No matter what kind of loan you're looking for, the Provident can get it for you faster. Call the Provident at 1-800 in a flash for a lightning loan and get an answer right over the phone, right now. It's the fastest loan on wheels, or anything else for that matter.
At the Provident, you're worth more here.
Why are more people in Philly waking up earlier? Hint, it's not their alarm clocks. Hardee's Rise and Shine breakfast is now at Roy Rogers. And right now you can get biscuits and gravy, cinnamon raisin 2-pack, or sausage egg biscuit for just 99 cents only at Roy's.
Public scrutiny of the alleged Palm Beach rape victim, Monday at 10.
Action News, Delaware Valley's leading news program, with Phil Andrews and Rob Jennings.
Sunday night, the welcome mat is out again at 7 historic buildings near Independence Hall. And could this be Mikhail Gorbachev's last week as top man at the Kremlin? But the big story in Action News tonight is a double murder in Philadelphia's Kensington section. Police were called to 2122 Stella Street tonight, where they found the bodies of two men, one believed to be in his 60s. Their names haven't been released. Police were reportedly called here by a convent, where a man had telephoned saying he had killed two people. That man is now in police custody and being questioned. Officers say the victims were apparently killed with a shotgun. The motive is still uncertain tonight. Life in prison is the sentence tonight for the convicted killer of a Philadelphia police officer. Action News reporter David Murphy was there when the jury's decision came in.
Stephen Robinson seemed unconcerned and had little to say as he was wheeled from court this afternoon.
No comment at all. I don't have no comments, so don't ask me any questions.
But he has plenty to be thankful for. Robinson dodged the death penalty today after his jury couldn't come to a unanimous decision on his penalty. A judge was forced to give Robinson life in prison. Robinson gunned down off-duty police officer Winfred Hunter last June. Another off-duty officer was also wounded during the early morning shooting outside the Congress Club at 29th and York in North Philadelphia. The prosecution argued the two policemen were trying to arrest a friend of Robinson's after they spotted him with a gun. That friend, Kenneth Johnson, faces 7.5 to 15 years for aggravated assault in the incident. Assistant DA Roger King wanted Robinson on death row.
I believe the evidence was there, but it's the jury's verdict, and I can't quarrel with that.
But Robinson's attorney argued that Officer Hunter drew fire by making a motion like he was going for a gun.
This involved out of 2 officers that were off duty, that were drunk, that were in an after-hours club at 3 in the morning.
The jury, sequestered in a guarded room here on the 5th floor of City Hall, spent Friday afternoon and all of Saturday morning coming in with their guilty verdict. They spent Saturday afternoon and all of this morning talking about whether Robinson should get death. Officer Hunter's ex-wife was hoping for the ultimate penalty.
You know, he believed in his job, and he put all into it.
But Robinson, who's recovering from injuries suffered during an escape attempt, has escaped death and isn't stopping there. His attorney says his next move will be an appeal for a new trial and an even lesser sentence. At City Hall, David Murphy, Channel 6 Action News.
Police are looking for a gunman in an afternoon shooting in West Philadelphia. It happened in the 4200 block of West Girard. A 22-year-old man was shot on the shoulder here. He is reported in good condition tonight at Presbyterian. Detectives are questioning witnesses to the crime, but so far no motive or suspects. Philadelphia firefighters are cleaning up after a 2-alarm blaze in Center City this evening. This began just after 5 in the 200 block of Quince Street. This video was shot by an Action News viewer on the scene. The fire started in a garage and moved quickly to a 3-story vacant building. The building used to house a restaurant, but may now be used by homeless people. And Philadelphia police are still asking for your help in getting the description of a hit-and-run vehicle which has left 2 women hospitalized in critical condition. 26-year-old Kathy Wood of Brisbane Street and 25-year-old Dawn McLean of Bensalem were run down here at G in Wyoming just before 2 o'clock this morning. Police are asking anyone who saw the hit-and-run vehicle to call them at 685-0069. A South Jersey man remains in critical condition tonight after an accident on City Avenue in Philadelphia. Police are still trying to figure out how 21-year-old Michael Toole of Willingboro wrapped his car around that pole. He suffered severe hand injuries and is under observation for possible spinal injuries as well. And there's been a 3rd round of surgery tonight for a South Jersey toddler whose arm was bitten off by a dog. 15-month-old Tyler Olson's in serious but stable condition at Jefferson University Hospital tonight. The toddler was playing in the yard of a home in Little Egg Harbor Friday when he stuck his arm through a fence, and the animal, part dog, part wolf, bit it off. The dog was destroyed. It'll be checked for rabies. There are 200 happy homecoming stories to tell tonight from a contingent of reservists whose stint in Operation Desert Storm is over. Action News was at Philadelphia International as members of Navy Fleet Hospital 15 returned home. They shipped out just as the war broke out and spent the past 4 months manning a field hospital. For Lieutenant Kim Henry of Millville, that meant missing about half her son's life.
I have my pictures in my bag. Carry on with me. Trees and sand. Don't mix. Just the trees and grass, green grass.
Henry intends to make up for lost time, both with her little son Christopher and many family members who greeted her tonight. The commander of Operation Desert Storm's home tonight for the first time since August. Norma Schwarzkopf had a big bear hug for his wife and 3 children as he stepped off that plane at MacDill Air Force Base in Florida. General Schwarzkopf's dog, Bear, even joined the welcome. The general said it was a thrill to be home.
It's a great day to be a husband. It's a great day to be a father. It's a great day to be a brother. It's a great day to be a master of a great old dog. It's a great day to be a soldier, and it's a great day to be an American. Thank you very much.
Kuwait's ambassador offered his thanks to the general. Schwarzkopf's jaw trembled as he stood at attention for the national anthem. Even though the U.S. Central Command is now home, Schwarzkopf urged everyone to remember the 200,000 soldiers who are still in the Gulf. He will retire this summer and probably hit the lecture circuit. One of the main tasks of the troops left behind is helping those Kurdish refugees, and today, Marines began building the first safe haven settlement for the millions fleeing Saddam Hussein's troops. But there was bloodshed in a refugee camp in Turkey when Turkish soldiers opened fire to stop a food riot. One refugee died in this gunfire. At least 5 others were injured. Across America today, people were taking time to celebrate Earth Day, even though that actual day isn't until tomorrow. In Los Angeles, celebrities like Robert Guillaume and Chevy Chase joined the local residents as they took to the streets for Earth Walk 91. And here in the Delaware Valley, the focus was on everyday ways to keep the planet clean and green. Action News reporter Rick Williams has details.
It was supposed to be outdoors, but the rain moved this second annual Earth Sunday celebration inside Memorial Hall. Yet no one was complaining because being here meant you cared about the environment and its future.
We just want people to become aware, and if they can set aside one day a year, only to think about the earth and what's happening to it and what needs to happen, then we've done our job.
From folk singers to Save the Earth exhibits, close to 85 of them, the idea was to inspire Philadelphians to take more of an interest in such issues as recycling and energy conservation. Local activists say it's the key to saving the city.
If the city's environment suffers, the city itself is going to suffer. Because if the city is not an environmentally sound place to live in, people will leave.
One of the more popular displays, the 76 Sun Dragon, a solar-powered hot rod built by Drexel students who say it could be the mobile of tomorrow.
We're trying to investigate alternate energies, try and get away from the commitment of fossil fuels.
It was a day dedicated to clean air, clean water, and clean living. A day when parents wanted their kids to be just as concerned as they are.
They're inheriting this world, and they've got to learn from an early age. They need to take care of it, be good stewards.
So while this celebration of the Earth was somewhat short on sunshine, organizers say you don't need a clear day to see the problems that presently plague our planet. Rick Williams, Channel 6 Action News.
Breaking story just into Action News. Rescue teams in Salem County, New Jersey are now on their way to a helicopter crash in Lower Alloways Creek Township. The helicopter is reportedly down near Beasley Neck Road. In addition to the rescue crews, a medical evacuation helicopter has been called in. We have no word yet on possible injuries. Residents tell us they saw sparks coming from the chopper before it went down. 7 historic buildings around Independence Hall reopened this Sunday after being closed 8 months because of federal budget cuts. Visitors to Independence National Park were able to see all the historic buildings today. Old City Hall used to house the nation's first Supreme Court. The Todd House, where Dolly Madison once lived, is once again open. So's the Second National Bank of the U.S. right there. And Edgar Allan Poe's old haunt is now open 7 days a week thanks to more money for the National Park Service. New Jersey Governor Florio may slowly be regaining favor with tax-weary voters. A newspaper poll finds 20% of those questions say Florio's doing a better job with the state's high auto insurance rates compared to just 11% last fall, but Florio's overall approval rating is still just around 17%. Action News Jersey correspondent Nora Mushanek says the governor's trying desperately to change that.
After almost a year of defending himself, Jim Florio has decided to get aggressive and go on the attack. And one top Republican is his target.
Talk about chutzpah. The Republicans all voted against the homestead rebate program. And I see that one of the Republican leaders is now out conducting forums, helping senior citizens to qualify for them.
Florio was talking about Assembly Minority Leader Chuck Hytaian, whom the governor has labeled a hypocrite. In the next few months, criticizing Hytaian will be a strategy of the governor's. Florio wants to take the heat off himself and put it on the GOP, which he says has not come up with realistic alternatives to his proposals. Hytaian and the Republicans want to avoid taking the bait.
Well, I'm not going to get into a personality conflict with the governor. I think Jim Florio is now showing the real Jim Florio.
And the Republican Party chairman says it's a strategy that may well backfire.
This is the governor who you remember as a candidate in 1981 as a snarly and somewhat nasty disposition. And if this is what we're going to see from Governor Jim Florio, I think he's on very thin ice here.
Republicans say it doesn't matter what Florio and the Democrats do or say about the GOP. Republicans plan to take advantage of the voter animosity over the Florio tax hike, and they think that issue alone will sink the Democrats.
$2.8 billion in new taxes, and everyone is complaining.
With both houses of the legislature up for re-election in November, politically speaking, the next few months may look like a street brawl, and both parties seem to be rolling up their sleeves. I'm Nora Mushanek, Channel 6 Action News, Trenton, New Jersey.
And there's more to come on Action News tonight. It's not kiss and tell, but kiss and tape for Madonna. Phillies take another direct hit in the win column. Phil Andrews has the latest from the Eagles, Phillies, and Sixers. AccuWeather says tomorrow will be a new week with the same rain. Details when we continue.
So how many cars does Mercedes test crash every year?
Oh, I say about 100. You can never learn enough. Ever since we had it patented, we have been improving this concept of the energy-absorbing car body.
But other companies use the concept.
We have never enforced the patent.
So Mercedes gave away a basic safety advance for free?
There are some things in life that are too important not to share.
Inside your smooth-running engine is a torture chamber. And under these grueling conditions, only one leading motor oil meets the world's toughest requirements for viscosity breakdown. Castrol. Castrol provides maximum protection against viscosity and thermal breakdown. So use Castrol. After all, why make things tougher on your engine? Castrol GTX, engineered for today's smaller cars.
Now on sale at all Pep Boys locations.
Sweeping views, late night blues, stirring sound, paradise found, Bermuda, a short trip to the perfect holiday.
Look at the facts. The Buick LeSabre costs less than the Mercury Grand Marquis. Costs less than Chrysler New Yorker Salon. Less than Toyota Cressida. Less than Nissan Maxima. The Buick LeSabre is rated the most trouble-free American automobile and the best-selling full-size sedan. The Buick LeSabre. One test drive. That's all it takes.
In Germany tonight, prosecutors are preparing landmark indictments. They plan to charge former East German soldiers who shot and killed 2 young men who were trying to climb over the Berlin Wall to freedom. They would be the first indictment stemming from the border shootings which claimed 200 lives during communist rule. One case occurred in 1984, the other in '86. Both, say authorities, were particularly cold-blooded. And Soviet President Gorbachev is back in Moscow tonight after a Far Eastern trip, but he faces the most crucial week of his 6-year tenure. Communist hardliners may call a special session of the Soviet Congress this week to try to force his resignation. They're also seeking a nationwide state of emergency in light of an 8-week coal strike and other economic problems. It's a happy 65th birthday for the world's most famous monarch tonight. Britain's Queen Elizabeth turned 65. She spent the day in church and with family members in private. No great fanfare today in Britain since the Queen's birthday is traditionally celebrated in June. Next year will mark the Queen's 40th year on the throne. An injury from a Q-tip swab has earned a little boy a $20 million court settlement. When Gregory Strothkamp was 6, he punctured his eardrum with a Q-tip, permanently damaging his hearing. His parents set out in court to force Q-tip's maker to use child-proof packaging. The company still refuses to do so, even though it lost the case.
Hey, it's time to rediscover American values with big factory cashback at your Chrysler Plymouth dealers. In spite of all the excitement, I'm staying calm. Acclaim, what a terrific value. It's thousands less than Accord, and it's got an airbag and great mileage. Can you believe a New Yorker starts this low? Save $1,200 here, or get the lowest priced car with an airbag. Hey, I'm calm. Really, I'm calm. But time's running out, so come on in.
Your Delaware Valley Chrysler Plymouth dealers can put together a great deal for you.
To the outside world, she had it all. A perfect combination. A loving man. A successful career.
Thank you.
But inside, she was torn apart. Fighting a nightmare. Struggling with a shattering addiction.
Trying to quit Valium.
Jill Clayburgh, Geraldine Page, in The True Story. I'm dancing as fast as I can.
Tonight at 11:30 after Action News on Channel 6.
Quick, think of everything you know about burgers.
Well,
Now forget it. Introducing McLean Deluxe from McDonald's. Made with a 91% fat-free beef patty, new McLean Deluxe renders all previous burger knowledge obsolete. Watch closely. This is history in the making. Only McDonald's gives you great burger taste with a lot less fat.
Hey man, this is the most.
Actually, it's the least.
Heavy.
Light.
Cool.
Hot. New McLean Deluxe. After billions and billions, another first at McDonald's today.
With all the cars to choose from, picking the right one is a challenge.
Well, we challenge you to find a better car than the Nissan Sentra, the best in its class. The Maxima SE, ditto. In fact, Nissan's won 17 awards the past 2 years, more than anyone else. And your dealer's ready to deal. So really, the challenge isn't which car to buy, it's which Nissan.
Factory-to-dealer incentives make this a great time to buy a Nissan.
It was NFL Draft Day, and the Eagles did some wheeling and dealing. Here's Phil Andrews.
A lot of that going on today, and the Eagles did benefit themselves by doing a little bit of that wheeling and dealing. Yeah, they were scheduled to make the 19th pick in the first round of today's NFL Draft, but instead traded that pick and next year's first-round pick to Green Bay for the Packers' 9th choice in the first round this afternoon. And as a result, the Birds get their man. 6'4", 320-pound offensive tackle Antone Davis from the University of Tennessee. Now, not only is Davis big, but he's also fast and quick on the run block, and yes, could very well work his way into the starting lineup next year, which is actually the last place he thought he'd find himself.
I was surprised because I hadn't talked to Philadelphia at all. They didn't call me, told me they were interested or anything, so it was a bit of surprise.
Does that make you feel a little bit better that they traded up to get you?
Well, you know, it just means that, you know, some teams, you know, it was a debate, me or another player, and some teams, you know, had to take a chance on, you know, seems like they take defensive players more, but for a team to give up the first-round pick for the next year, you know, that means a lot.
He's a very big man, very strong, very excellent athlete, very well coached. He's a very strong run blocker, has very sound pass protection techniques, and we liked everything about him. He's smart, he's healthy.
Now, Philadelphia's other picks today include defensive tackle Jesse Campbell from NC State, probably will play the safety spot. The Birds then went back to the offensive line with their 3rd pick in selecting Rob Selby from Auburn, and with their 4th pick this afternoon, well, they went with a linebacker, William Thomas, Texas A&M Aggie. But of course, the big story today was the defection of Notre Dame All-American Raheem Ishmael to the CFL, the Toronto Argonauts. Apparently, Ishmael and his agent just couldn't come to financial terms with the Cowboys. So, the projected #1 pick signed a 4-year, $20 million contract with the Argos. Owner Bruce McNall, who, by the way, also owns the LA Kings.
It's rare, from what I've heard from my people that I know who are playing in the football league, and it's rare from just everyday life where you meet someone who is in a position to do the things that Mr. McNall is, and for them to have character behind it and to really be like straight shooters and trying to cut out all the BS and stuff like that. And that was another thing that I was very impressed with, and it just helped make my decision a lot easier.
And so with the Rocket jetting off to Toronto, the Cowboys opted to take defensive tackle Russell Maryland with the 1st pick, and apparently the Outland Trophy winner who arrived in Dallas today from Miami, Jimmy Johnson's top choice.
We knew 2 days ago that Russell would have been, he would be our pick. Now, we had ideas of possibly trading. Jerry and I talked about it at length yesterday. The final decision was that we did not want to take any chance, even if it was 1 in 100, of losing Russell Maryland.
All right, let's quickly take a gander at the top 10 picks today in the draft. We told you about Russell Maryland. There you have it. The first 6 picks, by the way, all defensive players. First time it's ever happened. An interesting pick here for the Cardinals. They take 20-year-old Eric Swan, who has never played college ball before. And locally, well, if you're interested in some of the local picks that went to the NFL, we have a couple for you. Joe Valerio from Penn heads out to Kansas City. The Chiefs take him in the 2nd round, the All-American lineman. And in the 3rd round, David Daniels from Penn State headed to play with the Seattle Seahawks. Well, for the Sixers, Thursday's opening game of the best-of-5 playoff series with Milwaukee, a breath of fresh air, the start of a new season. Because today in Cleveland, Charles Barkley and company wrapped up their regular season schedule on a down note, losing 123-110 to the Cavs. Charles still nursing that sore knee, Hersey Hawkins on the bench, also with a minor injury. Best to save both those players for the playoffs. As far as the Cavs, they simply had their way with the Sixers this afternoon, and who can blame them, as they'll find themselves home for the playoffs this year. There's your final, 123-110. Well, let's see. The Phillies jumped ahead of St. Louis today 6-1, but the Cards battled back to tie it at 6 and force extra innings, and wouldn't you know it, St. Louis eventually won that game.
Slammed, and what a grab by Kruk.
They get one coming home to score. He is out, and no, he drops the ball. Coming in to score is Langford on the out at second base, and the Cardinals win it.
The final 7-6. Sad scenario, yes indeed. The Phillies dropping 7 of their last 8 games.
And St. Louis has won it 7-6.
And finally tonight, a trip to Andrew's attic. Now, if you can bear the cobwebs, the musty smell, I think you'll enjoy what we have stashed away for you this week. Well, it may be wet and cold on the outside, but nothing that a little hot chocolate won't take care of. So grab a cup, sit right down, and please buckle up. Yes, indeed, the hazards of being a TV cameraman. And how about those darn mutant Ninja Turtles? They seem to pop up everywhere, even on the PGA's senior tour. And how's this for a birdie on the par 5 13th? Meanwhile, back on the farm, it was time for the Beaver, Oklahoma cow chip tossing contest. Yes, folks, that's cow dung. But trust me, these folks really take this stuff serious.
I like a pretty nice round cow chip with some kind of a little bit of a handle on it, and one that's not going to break apart in a real nice roll.
But I don't care what they say, a good day of cow chip tossing just can't compare to a day at the ballpark.
It's 1, 2, 3, strike, you're out at the old ball game.
Of course, by the way, Anton Davis and the rest of the Eagles picks will be in town Thursday as the Eagles begin their second minicamp.
I want to know what the cow chip throwers win.
Have no idea.
Well, they ought to cash in their chips then. We'll be back with AccuWeather in just a second. No, they're throwing the fertilizer.
Mitsubishi 3000 GT is Motor Trend's Import Car of the Year. To celebrate, we're offering big savings on other award winners, including Eclipse Turbo, a Motor Trend top buy 2 years in a row. Right now, you can save on any new Eclipse through factory-to-dealer incentives. The award winner is Mitsubishi. The savings winner is you. Starting at $11,239, Eclipse is more than $3,400 less than Silica Liftback.
Smart Food Kentucky kernels are air popped. Then they're smothered in a smooth white cheddar cheese all over, so they melt on your tongue. Smart Food, the sensual snack for the sensual man.
The Guessmen All-American Bomber Jacket. Just $25 with any Guessmen purchase. At Macy's.
If you order a suit designed around the way you're built, you have to wait about 2 months. If you want a house designed around the way you live, the wait is 2 years. But if what you desire is a car designed around the way you drive, you don't have to wait another day. The 1991 Acura Legend Coupe.
On our People Scene tonight, Madonna, who is shooting from the lip and aiming at a couple of male friends, she told a Los Angeles gay newspaper that pal Michael Jackson needs a new image and that he could pick up some tips from some New York female impersonators she knows. Madonna's former beau, Warren Beatty, fared better in the article. She says their phone chit-chat has been cut out of her upcoming tour movie, Truth or Dare, because Beatty wasn't aware he was being taped, and that, as we all know, is against federal law. April showers bring May flowers, but this is ridiculous. The soaking rains have caused minor flooding in poor drainage areas. The temperatures are almost 20 degrees below normal. AccuWeather says tomorrow will be a little better. Tuesday's looking a little nicer. Wednesday's a different story. 49, 44 was the range of temperatures. They really didn't go very much this Sunday. 65 is our normal high for this time of year. It's 45 outside now. AccuWeather's 5-day quickly. Another damp, chilly night, leftover rain and drizzle. Tonight's low 41. Showers are still possible in the morning rush hour, 43. Another cool, cloudy day tomorrow with a shower or drizzle, particularly in the morning. Tomorrow afternoon, mostly cloudy, 56. Tuesday, cloudy with occasional sunshine, up to 60 degrees. That's a dry day. Then more rain moves in on Wednesday, 54. Cloudy, leftover showers Thursday. Friday looks like a nice day. It'll be partly sunny and 66 degrees for Friday. Finally tonight, a world-famous conductor lifted his baton at the Academy of Music. Andre Previn led the Curtis Institute Orchestra to its final performance of the season. Admission free, the audience heard Previn guide the young performers through Mozart, Williams, and more. The $1 Million Movie is next on Channel 6. Tonight's feature is I'm Dancing as Fast as I Can with Jill Clayburgh. Action News returns in the morning with Monica Malpass and Dave Frankel. Now for Phil Andrews and the entire Action News team, I'm Rob Jennings. Good night and have a great week.
Take a little bit of time. Move closer to your world, my friend, and you'll see.
From Channel 6, this has been Action News, the most watched news program in the Delaware Valley. When you see news happening, call the Action News tip line by dialing News 6. In New Jersey, dial 966-6666 or call our regional news bureaus.
It has all come so far. Today, our engineers can crash test cars on a computer. If only they could have seen us 40 years ago. We had no idea we were inventing safety science. Most people today know nothing of all this safety pioneering, but I think Mercedes drivers, they know. I think they can feel it.
4 years ago, Ed Rendell proposed changes in City Hall that would have saved taxpayers millions. The newspapers praised Rendell's ideas and endorsed him for mayor. Today, Ed Rendell's new proposals will help us avoid bankruptcy, privatizing some city services, negotiating tougher contracts, and cutting waste, all to avoid higher taxes and deliver better services. The only real plan to end the fiscal mess. Ed Rendell, the right direction for Philadelphia.
The same inspired technology that made the Mitsubishi 3000 GT Motor Trend Import Car of the Year has created a new luxury performance sedan. On the eve of its diamond anniversary, Mitsubishi Motors proudly introduces the Diamante, a luxury car so thoroughly accomplished, it was just awarded Car of the Year in Japan. Mitsubishi, the word is getting around.
Tragic results from collagen treatments tomorrow.
Welcome to the $1 Million Movie. Tonight's feature film is I'm Dancing as Fast as I Can, starring Jill Clayburgh, Nicole Williamson, Daniel Stern, and Geraldine Page.